record this so we have. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how you would get on your science book. So you're going to go to the internet, and you would, however you log in or however you get to Clever. When you get here, you're going to click where it says, click your badge, and then you would flash your badge up to the screen, but I don't know if mine will work since I'm on. 1 second. We can try to do it without you guys first. My camera is connected to you, so it won't let me scan my badge. Let me see if I can. I'll just get on with mine. Okay, so you guys should be able to scan yours. Since my camera's connected to you, it's not letting me. But then once you get onto Clever, do you see right here where it says Savas Easy Bridge? That is your science book. So if you click there, you're going to see that you have some assignments posted here. I don't know if it will bring you to this, but you'll be in Science, Interactive Science, Grade 4. I think yours will come right to this page. So it will tell you what assignments you need to do right in here. Okay, so today when we get finished, why don't you guys try that and let me know if you're having any problems. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you can remember that. You're going to try Clever and see if you can find your science book. At the end of this week, you're going to have... At the end of this week, you're going to have a science quiz that you're going to need to complete for me. Okay, so we're going to go to now we're going to talk about, raise your hand if you follow. Soren, why don't you put that can down, honey, so you can focus. What were you supposed to do before our meeting today? What were you supposed to watch? Peyton?
Lesson 2 video.
Very good. And your lesson 2 video should show you that we were extending what we learned last week about place value. And then we're also working backwards. Instead of multiplying by 10, we're going to also divide by 10. So I'm going to share my screen with you again. And I would like you to look at my place value chart. We've now worked our way the whole way up through this place value chart. So if you know what place value is here, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me what place value is the smallest.
The ones.
Okay, and if you know what comes next, you can unmute yourself and tell me.
Tens.
And then?
Hundreds.
Hundreds, and then?
Thousands.
Okay, and then that's what we did last week, and here comes the ones that we talked about this week. What's bigger than thousands?
10,000.
And then what's bigger than 10,000s?
100,000.
100,000.
Yep. And then the biggest place value that we're going to be dealing with would be what?
The million.
Millions.
Excellent. So we also talked about every time we move this way, from ones to tens, tens to hundreds, hundreds to thousands, thousands to 10,000s, 200,000s to millions. What happens as we move from one of those place values to the next? What do we multiply by? How much bigger is each place value?
Ten times bigger.
Very good, 10 times bigger. So every time we move to the left, it's 10 times bigger. So today, we also saw that you can move the other way. So when we are dividing, we're not going to be moving to the left anymore, but we'll be moving to the right. Before we get started, was there any questions that anyone had about the lesson 2 video? Everyone looks good? Okay, so now go ahead and take out your student workbook and you're going to turn to page 8. Okay, so I'm going to minimize all of your faces so that my paper is visible. So if you have an answer, you don't have to wait for me to call on you. You can just unmute yourself. If it's quiet in your house, feel free to just leave your computer unmuted the whole time. That's fine with me. Okay, so as you did during the lesson, label and represent the product or quotient by drawing discs on the place value chart. So just like we did before, we're going to label this chart in our book just like we did here. So we'll start with millions, and then we'll go to 100, thousands, 10, thousands, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. And if you haven't done so already, I would put the date up here. I like to keep all of my pages dated, just in case we ever have to go back and find something. Okay, so letter A asks us 10 times 2,000s. Now, I always like to kind of work these out in the same pattern, and I want to talk about what information do we know, and we can put in our chart right away. It's going to either be the 10 or the 2,000s. Which one can we put right in our chart? Okay, remember, I don't have my screen on. I can't see your faces, so if you know, just go ahead and tell me. Don't be shy, be brave. Anyone know where we can start?
2000s.
Very good. So we're going to go to the thousands place value. And I think that sounded like Sophia's voice. Sophia, how many thousands do we have?
2.
So I'm going to put 2 discs there. So now I'm going to multiply by 10. So that means I'm going to take each of these and times 10. So I need to make 10 discs in each column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after I have my, right now what I did was I took my 2,000s and I drew them. Then I multiplied by 10 and I put 10 down our first 1,000 and 10 times your second 1,000. Now I can answer this question. How many thousands do I now have total? All of these dots, how many is that total?
20,000.
20,000s. Very good. Thank you, Nina. I have 20,000s here. Now I'm going to do something that we just learned about last week. It's probably a new term. It means to group things together. Anyone remember what we did a lot last week? Meaning grouping things together.
Bundling.
Bundling. Very good. So now I'm going to bundle 10,000s together, and those 10,000s are going to give me one what?
10,000. Wait. 1 10,000.
10,000. So I'm going to take my 10,000s and I'm going to turn those in for 10,000. And then I'm going to take these 10,000s and turn those into another 10,000. So these are equal signs. So this is saying 2 10,000s is equal to 20,000s, which is also equal to what? What do I now have in my 10,000s column?
2 10,000s.
Well, yes, you're correct. 2 10,000s. And then if you wanted to write this in standard form, what is 10,000 plus 10,000? Soren, do you know? I don't see you anymore. Are you still there? How about Sarah? Sarah, if I add together 10,000 plus 10,000, what do I get?
Raw.
Sorry, I was muted.
That's okay.
2 10,000s.
Okay, but if I want you to tell me what number that is. What is 10,000 plus 10,000? How would I write this using digits?
20,000.
So this would just be, you could put another equal sign. This also equals 20,000. So you just wrote that 3 different ways. Okay, so far, do you have any questions about that one? Scan through here and check in with you guys. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Now we have 10 times 3 10,000s. So now where will I start? What can I draw? Actually, I know where I'm going to start. Don't want to forget to label my place value chart.
What? What's my
Okay, Soren, you want to tell me where I'm going to start? What will I draw first?
Thank you. No, thank you.
3,000.
No, thank you. But thank you for asking.
Well, I want you to try. Tell me what I'm going to draw first.
You are going to draw 30 tens.
No. What does this say right here?
Oh, you are going to draw 30,000.
Soren, read this for
30
me. What's
10,000.
not
30
30.
10,000.
No. Just read what I have underlined.
3 10,000.
And that's where we're going to start. So we're going to go to the 10,000s column. And Soren, how many discs should I draw here?
30.
No, not yet.
50.
3. Very good. Now, I drew my 3 10,000s, but now I need to multiply by 10. So Olivia, what would I do next?
You would add 10 to the numbers we already have.
Very good. We're going to multiply by 10 by turning each of these 1 10,000s into 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, what do I do next? I can fill something in at the top. What can I fill in? How many 10,000s do I have? If you count up all of these dots, how many are there? And since you know each of these are 10, you can even count by tens. 10, 20, 30. That gives me 30 10,000s. Now that I have my 30 10,000s, I can do something to move them to another place value. What can I do?
Move them to the 100,000s.
Okay, very good. So what do I need to do, Soren? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with shundling. What do we have to do?
You need to move it.
Well, how do I move it though? I have to do something. I can't just move it.
You need to combine it.
Okay, so we need to bundle. Remember, we're going to be some bundling. So we're going to bundle together these
Bundle.
10. Yeah, there you go. Soren, these
then
10,000.
And then it's 300,000.
Okay, good. So there's 1. Here's my 2. And here's 3. So Soren, my other answer up here would be how many 100,000s?
300,000.
And I could write it like this. Soren, can you tell me what digits to write? To write it as in standard form?
So first you need to write 3.
Yep. And then what?
0, 0.
Yep.
Comma, I think.
You're correct.
0, 0, 0.
Very good. So now we have it all the different ways. Okay, so letter C. What is different about letter C than any of the problems we've done so far this whole school year? What's different about letter C? Go ahead, Sophia.
There is a division sign.
Right, we're going to be doing some dividing. So we're going to get this straightened out for you. We're going to start with labeling your place value chart. So we have millions, 100,000s, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. This time, we're going to start in the thousands place. We're going to be drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 discs. What do you guys know about multiplication and division? What's special about their relationship? Anyone know what's special about the relationship between multiplication and division? Well, they're opposites. So now we're going to do the opposite of what we did when we multiplied. So now we're going to go backwards. So instead of multiplying by 10 and moving over to our 10,000s place, we're going to divide by 10. So now we have to unbundle. So now we're going to move this way, and we're going to put our 400s, and then we're going to unbundle them. So underneath each of those, we're going to make 10 discs. So now we can tell how many hundreds we have. So when we would begin here, we took our 4,000s and then we put our 400s. Then we unbundled them. So now we have to do something that's very special to division. When you divide, the most important thing is to divide whatever it is you're dividing, your number, your crayons, your teams, into what type of groups. This is very important about division. They have to be, I'm missing a word in front of groups. They have to be blank groups. What kind of groups when you're dividing? I'll give you a hint. It means the same in every group.
Equal groups.
Equal groups. So now I need 10 equal groups. So I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to look. how many hundreds are in each of my groups, my equal groups. So you're going to look at one of those circles and count how many dots are in there, how many discs. Anyone know? Go ahead. If you know, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me.
4.
4. Very good. So we have 4 hundreds. And you know, we're going to scratch this out because we're just going to end. We just want to know that 4 thousands divided by 10 equals 4 hundreds. And go ahead and, whew, that was all in number 1. Take a deep breath. That was a lot of work. So we did 2 multiplying and 1 dividing. Do you guys have any questions about the division one? Does it make sense how I was telling you to unbundle? So to multiply, we have to bundle. So to divide, we have to go backwards into the unbundling. Okay. Okay, so the other must-do problem for today was number 3. So let's go ahead and look at number 3. Soren, please stop that. Go ahead and read number 3 to yourself while I read it aloud. Solve for each expression by writing the solution in unit form and in standard form. So now we're going to be taking these, and if you notice, now we have 2 different place values put together, and we have to multiply both of those by 10. So I'm going to use this chart to help us. Now, if you guys ever need to use one of these, you do have one in your student workbook on page 14. Okay, so we're going to start with 4 tens and 3 ones times 10. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw what we know. So I'm going to draw my 1, 2, 3, my 4 tens and my 3 ones. So if you look here, it says 4 tens and 3 ones times 10. We have to multiply both of these by 10. So now, just like we've done in the past, I'm going to take each of these and make it a 10. 10. Now I'm going to do the same things to the ones place. So now I've done all the multiplying. I multiplied your 4 tens, sorry, yes, your 4 tens by 10 and your 3 ones by 10. Okay, what do I do next? I'm going to bundle. So now I'm going to bundle this group of 10 tens to give me 100. This group of 10 tens gives me another 100. This group of 10 tens gives me another 100. And this last group of 10 tens gives me another 100. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds total. Now I have to bundle my ones. These 10 ones gives me 110. These 10 ones gives me another 10. And these 10 ones gives me a third 10. So now I have 10, 20, 30, 3 tens, or 30 tens. I'm sorry, it'd be 3 tens or 30 total. So now, where it says unit form, we're going to write 4 hundreds, 3 tens.
Excuse me, Sarah. Had the question.
What, honey?
I'm confused on what page we're on. I was trying to catch up and then I saw something completely.
Page 9, number 3.
Oh, okay. What was
So
that
we're working-
other like place value
one?
chart on?
Oh, the place value chart, if you want to draw with me, you have a copy on page 14. I just thought it would be easier if I drew for you and you guys just kind of followed along. But if you want to draw, it's on page 14. Did you find it, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to write 4 hundreds and 3 tens. That's our number in unit form. So now we want to think, what is that in standard form? So I know 4 hundreds is the number 400. 3 tens is 30. If I combine 400 and 30, who can tell me how I would write that in standard form using digits? So tell me, is that 1750? Is it 609? How do I write this in standard form? Does anyone want to try? Go ahead, Olivia.
403.
Okay, read that for me, Olivia.
403.
So, Olivia, this tells me I have 4 in the hundreds place and 3 in the ones. Is that what I have in my middle row?
I meant 430.
There we go. And that's really easy to make that mistake. So now we're going to switch those around. Now I have a 3 in the 10 spot. Very good. Okay, so now I'm going to try the next one. I have 2 hundreds and 3 tens. So now I'm going to draw this for you. Nina, can you tell me what I should draw first? I have 2 hundreds and 3 tens.
You should put two rows of 10 in the hundreds.
Well, I just want to start with my 200s. And how many tens do I, Nina?
You put 2 dots there.
In my hundreds place, yes. And what do I do with my 3 tens?
You put 3 dots in the 10th place.
Good. And we don't want to just jump right to those putting the 10 because we have to make sure it's multiply, not divide. But okay, Nina, so I do see that we're going to multiply by 10. So both of these hundreds, I now need to make how many dots? Since I'm multiplying by 10, I'm going to put 10 at each. Okay, so now who can tell me what I do next?
You bundle. You bundle.
I do. So I'm going to take these 10 hundreds, and that gives me one what? That gives me 1,000. These 10 hundreds gives me another 1,000. Now I'm going to bundle my tens. These 10 tens gives me 100. These 10 tens gives me another 100. And these 10 tens gives me a third 100. So now I'm going to look at what I have in green. Sarah, how many thousands do I have? Soren, how many hundreds do I have?
You
have-
have 20.
So listen to the question. How many hundreds do I have?
You have 20.
No, these are gone. These black dots, I've renamed them for thousands. Look at my green. How many green dots do I have in the hundreds place?
3.
3.
3.
Okay, so now I'm
3.
going to get back to my workbook page, and I'm going to write 2000s and 300s. How would I write that number in standard form? Peyton, how do I write 2000s, 300s?
2,300.
Very good. Okay, so let's go move on to the next one. Now we have 7,800s times 10. Let me erase this. And I'm going to start with my 7,000s. Well, that's a big one. So I'm going to find my thousands column, and I have 7 of them. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I have 800s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I'm multiplying by 10, what am I going to do to each of these dots? I'm going to add, make sure I have 10 in each row, in each column. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I took my 1 and I multiplied it by 10. Now I'm going to take my second 1,000, multiply it by 10, my third 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000s. 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to multiply by 10 in my hundreds. So I'm going to take my first 100, my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Oh boy, it's a lot of dots. Now I need to do some bundling. Okay, Olivia, I can bundle each of my thousands. That's going to give me how many 10,000s?
That will give you 70,000. 70,000.
Good. So if I bundle all of these, it's going to give me 7,000s. And Olivia just told me she knows 7,000s is also 70,000s. So all of these have gone over here. Peyton, how many groups of 10 hundreds here?
8.
That's going to give me how many thousands?
8,000.
Yep. So now let's look at our green dots. How many 10,000s do I have, and then how many thousands do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10,000s and 8,000s. So I'm going to write 7 10,000s, 8,000s. And let's see if you can figure out what that is in standard form. Olivia already gave us a hint when she told us that the 7 10,000s totaled 70,000. So if I take these and I make them 70,000, and I think what 8,000s are, what would my number be in standard form? Anyone give it a try? Add it together, 7 10,000s and 8,000s, and what do you get total?
78.
Go ahead, Peyton. Do you want to try, Peyton?
78,000.
78,000. Very good. Okay, so now our next two are going to be dividing. So we'll go back to our chart. Erase all that. Okay, so I'm going to start with 6,000s and 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6,000s and 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, who remembers? What do I need to do first when I'm dividing? To think backwards, doing the opposite of multiplication. Peyton, what do I have to do?
Make sure that each number falls back a column.
Say that one more time, honey.
Make sure that all the numbers that are on the screen right now fall back a column each.
Okay, so we're going to work backwards. So now our 6,000s, we're going to unbundle them in the hundreds place. Same thing with the 10s. We're going to unbundle those 4 10s in the ones place. Okay, so now that I've done my unbundling, now I have to make equal groups. So now I have to make 10 equal groups. So now I'm going to go horizontally. 1 group, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was messy. I need to start spreading these out. Can anyone count that last one? Can you see how many hundreds I have in one group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 600 here. Maybe I'll switch colors so it doesn't all blend in. Now I have to make 10 equal groups of ones. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many groups of one do I have in one group? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you look at my chart now, pay attention to how many are in each. So what would my unit form be for this answer? Olivia, what would my unit form be? Look at what's on my chart. How many hundreds do I have and how many ones do I have?
Look at this. She's asking how many hundreds I have.
600s and 4 ones.
Very good. So in unit form, you would write 600s, 4 ones. Nina, how would I write that in standard form?
You would put 604
Very good. I have my 600s and my 4 ones. Okay, now for number 3, when we have 4 10,000s and 3 10s, if you flip your page, number 5 asks you to explain this one. So turn to number 5, and we're just going to do this one right in your journal, in your student workbook, so then you don't have to go back and explain it later. So now you're going to draw a place value chart. And we only need to go up to thousands. So you need 4 columns with thousands. Actually, we need 10 thousands. Then we need thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. And that leaves us some room to do our explanation. So this question is the same one that's on page 3, but we just have to do an explanation. So we'll just start here and then go back and record it. So we have to explain how you solved 4 10,000s and 3 10s divided by 10. Use a place value chart to support your explanation. So that's what we have right here. So we're going to start with what we know. We know we have 4 10,000s, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 3 10s, 1, 2, 3. Since we're dividing, who remembers what do we need to do? Do we move to the left or the right? Anyone have a guess or think they know? When we're dividing, do we go to the left or are we going to move to the right?
Right.
Right, very good. So now we're going to move to the thousands place, put our 4 thousands and unbundle them. After you've unbundled them, we're going to put them in what types of groups? We're going to put them in 10 equal groups. So now you're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, who can count how many dots are in one of these equal groups? Who can tell me how many dots are in one of these equal groups?
4.
So I'm going to put my 4 here so I know. Now I'm going to do my 10. Same thing. I need to reverse and unbundle. Now I'm going to make my 10 equal groups. How many do I have? Soren, it's very hard. How are you writing when you have an animal in your hands? You're supposed to be doing this with us. Pick up your pencil. Okay, now tell me, Soren, how many dots do I have in one of those equal groups in my ones column?
3.
Thank you. So now I can go back to my chart. Now let's flip back. We're going to turn from page 10, flip back to page 9, and we're going to put 4 thousands and 3 ones here, because we just solved that one. Now we have to write it in standard form. How do I write 4 thousands and 3 ones in standard form? Go ahead, Peyton.
4, 0, 0, 3.
Thank you. 4,003. So now we're not finished with number 5 yet because it does say explain. So we're going to write what we did. And what we did was I divided 4 10,000s by 10, and that equaled 4,000. Then I divided 3 10s by 10, and that gave me 3. So there's our explanation with a picture of what we did, and then I put 2 very simple sentences about how we solved. We divided our 4 10,000s by 10, and that gave us 4,000. Then I divided 3 10s by 10 and got 3. I'm going to give you a minute if you have to get anything else copied down, and then we'll be moving on to number 6. And this is our last must-do problem for today. You guys are doing a great job staying with me. I know this isn't the most exciting part of math. These first couple lessons are really about giving you as much information as we can about place value, and then we'll really be working on some. I really like number 6 because to me this is like a more real world problem. So number 6 says Jacob saved $2,000 bills. I wish that said Mrs. Shevchik saved $2,000 bills. 4 $100 bills and 6 $10 bills to buy a car. The car costs 10 times as much as he has saved. How much does the car cost? Okay, so let's break this down. I'm going to underline what's important, and I hope you do the same. So he has a $2,000 bill. How much money is that, Sophia?
$2,000.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down. He also has 4 $100 bills. Olivia, how much is that?
$400.
I'm going to line up my place value because I'm going to add these at the end. 6 $10 bills. How much is that, Nina?
400.
No, honey, 6 $10 bills.
So 600. Wait.
No, that would be $600. So these are $10 bills. If you have 6 of them, add 10 together 6 times.
60.
Yep. Okay, so that's all the money he has. So to find the total, we're going to add those. If I add my ones, 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 0 is 6 equals 6. 0 plus 4 equals 4. 2 plus nothing equals 2. Put my comma there. So this is how much money Jacob has. Is this my answer? Is this my answer? What do you think, Olivia? Is 2,460 my answer?
Yes.
Does the question ask us how much money Jacob has?
No.
No. What's the question ask us?
How much does the car cost?
So we know that this is how much Jacob has. What else does the story tell us about the cost of the car?
It is
Cost.
10 times as much as he saved.
Very good. So Olivia, this 2,460 is what Jacob saved. What am I going to do to that number to figure out how much the car costs?
Time it by 10.
Very good. So now this may look like a really big problem, but I'm going to show you how we can make it so much easier. I'm going to take off 1, 2 zeros. I'm going to put those in my answer. Now I'm going to actually ignore this comma. So I had 246, Soren, times 1 equals what? What's 246 times 1?
I don't want to do it.
Come on, try for me. Anything times 1 equals
2,461.
No, listen to the question. 246 times 1.
246.
There you go. So I'm going to write that down. Now I'm going to put in my comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. So Soren, how much does the car cost?
24,800.
Not 800, 600.
600.
And how should we label it, Soren? 24,600 what?
Dollars.
Dollars. Right there, that money symbol. Okay, so I'm going to just stop recording now because